Did you know that 70% of employees feel very unprepared for their performance reviews? Please don't let that be you. Top of the morning, everyone. My name is Tshidi and I'm back with a brand new video. Today's video is focusing on the topic that can be both nerve-wracking and career-defining: performance reviews. Performance reviews are by all means one of the worst things for a lot of employees. Some companies have actually gotten rid of them. Some companies still are doing them and they're still following up on some of those performance reviews. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, preparing for a performance review can make all the difference in showcasing your achievements as well as setting yourself up for future success. So that's why it's important that we're actually jumping into this video today. Let's talk about why performance reviews are so important in some instances. They're not just about the manager evaluating you. They're also an opportunity for you to reflect on your progress, identify areas of growth, and align your goals with the company. Some of the things that we normally see happening is that people would be working for a certain company for the next 10-15 years, and if you actually ask them what changes they've actually made in their careers or what changes they've actually made to grow, you find that most of them have actually never had a chance to look back at their career to see if they're actually progressing or not progressing. Think of it as a two-way conversation where you can actually demonstrate your value as well as discuss your career trajectory. For some of the people that we spoke about negotiating your salary, there's also a chance for you to actually see at what level you can start negotiating your salary at, because then you're able to speak about what you've done and how well you've been performing. Number two, it's also very important to actually reflect on your achievements. I think one of the things that we forget to sometimes do is that, especially when you're working for certain companies, is that you focus too much on delivering, but you never have a chance to actually reflect and look at your achievement. Now, starting by taking a comprehensive look at your accomplishments since your last review, gathering any quantifiable data such as your sales figures, your projected completions, or any client feedback. Create a list of your top performance or your top achievements. This can be very, very important because some of the times it's also a chance for you to start realizing how much work you do and how much you deliver to the company. So for some of the people that you might have actually underestimated your value and your performance, in some cases, performance reviews allows you to start looking at that and say, you know what, I've actually been doing quite a lot of work in some of my work and responsibility. Now, you can use certain tools like Google Docs or Microsoft OneNote, if you might be using OneNote in your company, to make sure that you actually keep your thoughts in one structure. We always say that keep track of the feedback that you receive from your line manager at any performance review so that you can actually either focus on it so that in the next year you can remind them some of the things that you've worked on to build on what the manager said in the previous year. Number three, identify areas of improvement. Now, it's important that we also understand that no one is perfect, recognizing that there needs to be areas that you actually need to improve on, as well as some of the challenges that you need to work on can be very, very important. So you need to make sure that you start addressing those. Also, here's the other thing about making sure that you recognize the areas of improvement. It's best because there are times where a manager says, I feel like your ability to be able to connect to stakeholders has not really been at the level that I want it to be. Then you're able to start saying to that manager, okay, fantastic. Here's a course that I found that could actually help me become a better stakeholder management, or I'd like to do a project management course because then I know I can build on that. So sometimes that feedback, as much as it might not come across as very good feedback, it might be one of the best feedbacks that you could get, because you can then start identifying areas that you could go study further with the use or the help of the company going forward. You can also specify specific knowledge or specific skills that you might think you might need to work on, and this can also help you from your performance to actually develop into the next role. Number four, set clear goals and guidelines. During your review, you are more likely to discuss goals for your next period. So that's what's normally expected. Now, come prepared with what they call the SMART goals. SMART goals is basically be specific about the goal. Make sure that the goal is measurable, where you can actually quantify some of the data that you want to share. Make sure that that goal is also achievable. One of the biggest mistakes that candidates do is they create goals that cannot be achieved, goals that might take 5 to 10 years to achieve, and then next year you failed on that goal. The next thing is be relevant. Make sure that the goal is relevant to achieving everything else that you're doing in your day-to-day responsibilities. And lastly, make sure that they are time-bound. So for example, instead of saying, I want to improve my sales, say, I want to increase my sales by 15% in the next quarter by targeting new client segment and enhancing follow-up processes. So it's easier for you to then measure it, and at the end of the year to come back and say, based on what I put as my targets, I've been able to achieve 1, 2, 3. Number 5, gather feedback. Don't wait until the review to get your feedback. I think one of the biggest mistakes that we all make is sometimes we wait until we know it's a few weeks before the review to start getting the feedback. Now, what then happens is that you find that some of your biggest stakeholders and your clients have got 10 other people that are sending them that request to actually give them feedback, and then they don't give you the right feedback that you're looking for. So throughout the year, gather as much feedback as you can and make sure that you collate it and put it aside so that you are ready to actually provide that feedback. Reach out to colleagues, mentors, or even your own manager to get that input as to how your performance is going. Your performance review needs to be a continuous thing. So it shouldn't be once-off thing where you only discuss it at the end of the feedback. Number 6, practice your presentation. How you present yourself during a review can just be as important as what information is on that review. So practicing discussing your achievements, your goals with a friend or family member, or even just one of your colleagues can be really, really helpful, making sure that you actually are succinct and you know exactly what you're going to say. Focus on being clear, concise, and also be confident. And remember to use I in the statements, because a lot of the stuff that we tend to do is we tend to talk about we, and you're not highlighting what contributions you played in that. So try and remember to use the I statements so that you can own your own success and be ready to discuss how you plan to address some of those areas of improvement that they might bring across. Number 7 is utilize free resources. There are plenty of free resources that are available for you to prepare. Websites like Mind Tools, Coursera have got different free courses that you might also look at that could be really, really helpful. Coursera can help you with courses like communication and self-improvement, or you can do LinkedIn Learning, which always has so many different free tiles that you can look at. YouTube is a goldmine of videos on personal development. I mean, if you just search for exactly what you're looking for, you'll be able to find that. For example, you found this video that talks about how to prepare for performance review. I hope that you'll actually keep on subscribing to some of my channels because I'll keep sharing as much information as this. So additionally, you've got free templates that are available in websites like HubSpot or Canva. Canva, for example, has got amazing templates that you can actually use to structure some of the conversations that you're looking at. And the other one of the biggest ones that you've got is also Notion. You can also sign up for Notion for free. And it's got different templates that you can use for your performance review and make sure that you've got structured information the way you want it to be structured. Now, to wrap up, preparing for performance review doesn't have to be daunting. By understanding the purpose, reflecting on your achievement, identifying areas of growth, as well as practicing your presentation, you can literally walk into that presentation and rock it. If you found these tips useful or very helpful for you, please don't forget to share, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, share this with as many people as possible, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.